Answering students' questions, part 1. When you know the answer very well. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Tanya. We're thrilled to have you join us again in our EMI TA training series, where we learn to support students not just with knowledge, but with empathy and useful strategies. Today, we're tackling a very familiar moment. Picture this. You're walking around during group discussion or QA time, and suddenly a student gives you the puppy eye and asks, "Hi, so what's the answer to this one?" And you know it. You really know it. The answer is sitting right there on the tip of your tongue, begging to come out. But hold up. Your role isn't to be the Google of the classroom. You're not the vending machine for correct answers. Nope. You're more like a hiking buddy. You don't carry them up the mountain. That's way too much. You show them the trail, hand them a water bottle, and cheer from the side. So in this video, we'll explore what to say when you do know the answer, but want to guide students to discover it themselves in a way that's helpful, inclusive, and confidence boosting. Especially in EMI classrooms where students might be translating in their heads, worrying about making mistakes, and just plain nervous to speak up. We'll give you sentence structures, strategies, and a quick role play. You'll learn how to spark curiosity, not just hand out solutions. So let's begin with why not just giving the answer is actually more helpful in the long run. Why not just give the answer? So let's start with the big question. Why shouldn't we just give students the answer, especially if we know it? Great question, but here's the thing. Learning is like cooking. You don't become a better cook by watching someone else cook. You've got to crack the eggs yourself. Real learning is about engaging with the information. It is a process of doing, not just receiving. If students don't do the work themselves, they miss out on meaningful learning. Exactly. If we always do the heavy lifting for our students, they'll never get stronger. And eventually, they'll depend on us to do the thinking for them. And they'll end up just being answer collectors, just waiting for the correct response given to them and then moving on. Our job is to help students move from answer getters to meaning makers. We want students to drive the car, even if they make a wrong turn from time to time. Basic sentence structures. Let's dive into some basic, warm, and supportive phrases that nudge students to think a little further. That's a good question. What do you think first? Try to explain your thinking so far. Can you remember what the teacher said about this earlier? Look at your notes. Do you see anything related to this? Let's break it down together. What's the first part of the problem? What's confusing you about this? Do you see any patterns here? These phrases create a space for students to think out loud. You're holding the flashlight for them, but not walking the path for them. You're not saying, "I won't help." You're saying, "I'm still here with you, but I believe you've got something inside that can help us move forward. So let's work on this together." Advanced sentence structures. Now, let's level up. What if the student is halfway there? They've tried, but they just need a little push. In that case, level up your questioning with these more advanced prompts. That's an interesting question. How would you approach solving it based on what you already know? Before I answer, walk me through your current understanding so we can build from there. I could give you the answer, but I think it will stick better if you figure it out. Want a hint? Think back to the example the teacher gave. Can you apply that structure here? Let's work through the logic step by step and see where it leads you. What strategy have you used for similar problems before? These phrases are powerful because they do three things. 1, they affirm the student's question and you respect their effort. 2, they signal that thinking matters more than just getting it right. 3, they turn the moment into a learning opportunity, showing that you are a thinking partner, not an answer machine. You're not closing the door with, "Go figure it out yourself." You're saying, "I'll walk with you, but you have to take the first step." And let's be honest, when students solve something on their own, even with a little guidance, they feel so much prouder. Tone tips on how to make your questions sound friendly. Now let's talk about tone. You could say the same words in a way that sounds encouraging or intimidating, because how you say things matters just as much as what you say.
Exactly. Tone is everything. You could be asking a great question, but if your tone sounds cold or demanding, students shut down.
You could try adding these softeners to help keep things warm and supportive. I'm just wondering,
Out of curiosity,
can you help me understand how you see it?
take a guess, no pressure. Think of yourself like a curious friend at a dinner party, not a judge in a courtroom.
Remember, you're not interrogating, you're inviting. Role play. Let's try out the scenario. I'll be the student and Michelle, you be the TA.
Okay.
Excuse me, I don't really get this. What's the answer to question 2?
Before I answer, can you walk me through what you've figured out so far?
Well, I think it's about cause and effect, but I'm not sure how to explain it.
That's actually a great starting point. So which part confuses you?
I guess I'm not sure which part is the cause.
Okay, how about we look back at the definition from class? What did the teacher say about identifying a cause?
Boom. TA, you just helped unpack the student's confusion. When to just answer and how to teach through it. Now, let's be honest, sometimes students really don't know the answer. They've tried, they've guessed, they've reached out, and they still don't get it.
In that case, this is your green light to step in and explain, but use the answer as a learning moment.
Exactly. Don't drop the answer like a mic. Try using short sentences. Pause between ideas. Emphasize key words and walk them through it by saying, here's one way to approach this.
Let's unpack the reasoning together.
This is the answer, and here's how you might have gotten there.
Notice how we applied the concept from earlier? Think of this like a cooking show. You don't just show the final cake. Show them the recipe. Talk them through the ingredients and explain how you baked it.
And remember, you don't always need to explain with words. Try drawing a quick sketch, diagram, or timeline. Visual support can make complex ideas clearer and give students something to refer to later. What to say when students freeze? Now, what if a student just freezes when you ask, what do you think? No thoughts, no guesses, just wide eyes and silence.
They might panic, overthink, or assume they're being tested, but you could try soften things up by saying, take your time, there's no rush.
Even a guess is a good place to start.
Let's brainstorm together.
What's one idea that comes to mind? These phrases lower the stakes and help students feel safe and just try. Encouraging peer thinking.
Sometimes it's even better to redirect the question to the group. Feel free to bring the group and ask, that's a great question. What do the rest of you think?
Can anyone help answer that?
How would you all approach this problem?
When students teach each other, something powerful happens. They take ownership, and you've now empowered peer learning. TA reflection.
Time for a little self-check. Ask yourself these questions. Am I guiding their thinking or am I solving it for them?
How often do I pause before answering?
Should I just jump in to fill in the awkward silence?
What could I say that helps the student get the answer with me? These questions keep you grounded in your role, not as the deliverer of answers, but as the builder of thinkers.
You are a facilitator, not a fixer. Summary table. Okay, friends, it's time for the moment we know you will love, the summary table.
Each of the phrases is like a little bridge, not a shortcut. It helps students cross from confusion to clarity, but they still walk the bridge themselves. So feel free to take notes of it, or even better, tattoo it on your memory.
Remember, being a TA is not about having all the answers. It's about helping others find their own. You're helping students build the pathway to understanding, not just skipping to the destination. Recap and takeaways. So, let's bring it all home.
The next time a student stares at you with hopeful eyes, asking for the question you know,
don't rush to answer it. Instead, pause, smile, ask a good question, guide them with warmth and curiosity.
And when the time comes to provide the answer, teach through it. Don't just drop it and go. Because when you hold back the answer just a little, you give students a chance to own their own learning.
Remember, as a TA, you are not there to be the hero with all the answers. You're the guide who helps students become their own heroes.
And that, friends, is the art of answering when you know the answer well. In our next video, we'll flip the script and tackle what to do when you don't know the answer all that well. And yes, that happens.
Yep, it happens to the best of us. But spoiler alert, you don't have to fake it, and it's not the end of the world. We'll show you how to handle it with grace and professionalism.
Until then, stay kind, stay curious, and keep those conversations thoughtful.
See you in the next one.